What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I did one of these a while back and people really loved it. Kind of how I break down a tech tree in general, what my planning, the thought or the planning that goes into it. And so I wanted to show, especially beginners, intermediate players, really how to approach the tree and what we're looking at. And I thought, what better way to do that than what I consider probably the best tech tree that Supercell has ever had. It's between this one and 25, my two favorite tech trees. All right. So let's just jump into it. Was working on the podcast yesterday. It's definitely got a few people's attention. I've gotten some private messages and stuff like that. People are very interested to hear what a conversation between Martin, BSV, and myself looks like, unfiltered, and yeah, perk some ears up. So, first off, we got to assess when looking at a tree what's going to be our starting troop. It can be the RCs, the warriors, the heavies. There's even rifles at this point. So those are our base starting troop. And then we kind of look ahead and see what's our goal troop. Like, what's the troop we're going to look for to be using mainstay. And that's going to be the heavy choppers. So we're trying to get there. We've got to use these first. And so your first thought is using the rocket choppers with the heavies. The heavies as the meat shield, rocket choppers, whether it's 1.7 or 2.6, using it that way, or just doing a heavy or warrior rush, depending on, what the deck looks like. So that's where we got to start out. Then we need to assess our game-changing nodes. What do I mean by game-changing nodes? We're talking about the things that really can turn your season around, can turn your day around, can turn your push around, things that make the biggest difference. TD, whoa, there's an arrow. TD is a game-changing node. BH is a game-changing node. Sorry, ugly line. The first TH is a game-changing node, but after that, TH gets less effective. Another TD, heavy choppers, BH. If you see a Sky Shield is a game-changing node. Seekers, whether you use them or not, are game changing because it decides, you have to defend that now. So it can be game changing. So that's all I really see so far at the beginning. Those are your game changing. It's normally BHTD, the first TH, Sky Shields, heavy choppers, bombers, those kind of things. So we keep those on the deck because we know we want to go towards those first. So when we're thinking about our path, it's got to start through the rocket choppers. So we're using those guys, and we're going to use those guys because they pair well with the HCs. And we also see that we have multiple TDs. And so that means the rocket choppers are going to be really good because there's more TD on the deck than there is BH. So that's a good thing. That means rocket choppers will be supreme. See, the thing with rocket choppers is you need more TD than BH for them to be effective. Whereas with bombers, you don't necessarily need that extra TD. Yes, it's good, but it's not necessary. And down here, all of this down here, you can see where it has the gunboat energy, the troop damage, how much we have at a certain time, which is huge because knowing what kind of troop damage you have accessible to you is huge. GBE can also be another thing when dealing with the heavy chopper, rocket chopper, and your gunboat ability. But we just want to get things that help the HCRC while trying to go forward. Okay, so flare is huge. They give us flare right there. Then we have sniper towers, cannons, green mines, mortars. Well, those don't really matter if we're using RCs, but they do matter to defend against the warriors. But still, I'm going to go down here to BH. We've got the BH, we've got the RCs. Now you have to decide. I'm going to clear that off and just say we are starting from right here. Now, once we're right here, we've got to decide, do we go bottom path? Are we getting red mines, machine guns, critters, the troop damage? Or are we go in the top for the rifles, flames, the GBE, and towards the sky shield? Now, game-changing nodes are all towards the bottom. So, my first thought is once, we're right here and we're deciding where to go, you got to follow the game-changing nodes. So, we get all the to the TD and then we go up to the TH. Now, this is key. You don't want to unlock the Zukas really, because if you don't have to, you don't want, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. But flamethrowers can be huge. So let me get some of these arrows out of the way and just do a normal white line. So this is where we've gone so far. You're going to need rifles. You're not really going to need them. I'm trying to think of the best. So we go up from critters. Whoa, man down. Go up from critters to boom cannons to the sky shield. That's all your extra D, which is awesome. But you still need to fill in the crevices. Say people are warrioring you, so you need to go ahead and get the green mines. But you still need a little extra D on deck. But the problem is that those heavy choppers are right there staring at you. And even though you could use a little extra D, the heavy choppers and the BH right there are screaming your name. So what I would do personally is we're trying to rank up, but more than anything, we want to get to the game-changing nodes. So we continue on and we get the BH and the heavy choppers. Now at this point, you have an advantage because likely people have gone back for heavies or for mortars. Oh, too far. Or flamethrowers, GBE, rifles, multi-node, all that stuff. So they've gone back for that while you've marched ahead to the game-changing node. Now that allows us, if we want to, we can keep moving forward to the DBD, or we can slide right up with our ranked chests and get the riflemen and the flamethrowers and then the mortars. And so now you have all the base D plus sky shields, boom cannons. You have everything but RLs. So we're good to go. Let's we've set ourselves up for success because we went to the game changing nodes first, the heavy choppers, the BH, the TD. We've hit all of those in stride as we're ranking up, and it makes such a huge difference. And then we've kind of filled in the gaps as needed. We're not panicking. We're not panic unlocking things. We're not grabbing like crazy multi nodes and stuff like that. Hold on, let me go back real quick. Like early game, all that, that, even RLs, Spark, all this stuff is unnecessary. Like, don't unlock that stuff. That's not going to benefit you. That's not going to help you. You know, maybe med kits with HCRC, but it's not worth going through the multi right there to get it. So just ignore those things, you know? Don't, I mean, even heavies to a certain extent, like maybe you need them to get to the heavy choppers, but yeah, I mean, early game, it's not that intense. Like, yes, we'll get the heavies eventually because of the HCs, and so it'll eventually be there. But that's not something you need to get out of the gate when you're moving forward towards those game-changing nodes. And then now we're just playing the rest of our game. We're moving with the tech. Oh, man down. We're moving with the tech. Shock bomb is nice. I mean, we still have the heavy choppers as the meat shield, but shock bomb is nice. Now we decide on seekers. If it ends up not being a seeker season, then and we'll kind of know in advance because you'll know all the seeker pros will tell you it's either one or it isn't. So we just keep moving forward. We get the shock launchers to help stop the seekers. Go to 5. Oh, there's another game-changing node. Sky Shield. Get that. It's on the way. And then you keep going. Now, at some point, you're going to have to decide on a hero, whether that is Spark, Kavan, Bullet, whoever. Depending on what you're playing is depending on, you know, what you're going to get. If you're running HCRC, then Spark or Bullet, preferably Bullet, but Spark can still be used. Even Kavan can be used with HCRC. But Kavan is very much a bomber guy. And Bullet can even be used for HC Bomber. Seekers, pretty much Bullet and always Bullet, maybe Brick. But in this case, we're using HCRC. So we go Bullet. Oh. So we go Bullet. Then we pay the smoke tax, go to 6. Because yes, TH, the first one is a game-changing node, but the second one doesn't do as much. So we can skip it for now. And the bombers, because we're playing RCs, so we just skip that top path. And we keep going. Shock mines help us. And now we have to decide, do we get BH? Do we go down, which we would never do? Or go up and head towards 7. Now it depends. I'm more of a race. The only time I ever race 7 is if there's a BH in 7. If not, I am perfectly content waiting until I can get TD until I go 7. If there's 2 ramps, I avoid going 7 until I can get a few things in 7. I tell you what we wouldn't ever do is unlock tanks, cryo, or brick. We would never do that. And while those 2 boom cannons right here are nice, 7 is probably better in this instance. So we would get the BH, then we would get the Proto, pay the scorcher tax, and go 7. And then once you go 7, you would just have to go up around. Oh, thank you for making a square, I guess. All right. Well, you get the point anyways. But we go around and get that TD being first, the DBD being second. And that's how I approach a tree. Obviously, it's a little bit more easy because I have hindsight. I remember what the decks look like. I remember what the season played out like. But for the most part, if you go back from the beginning, we broke it down and went straight path to things that we needed, things that mattered, things that pushed us ahead, and moved straight forward pretty easily. So, yeah. Also, saving up for a new system. Here's the tracker here from the donations I've gotten from the channel, saving towards my system. Plus, I'm in the middle of packing. Me and my significant other have to be out of where we are Monday. So, doing a lot of packing and stuff like that. A lot of unknowns right now. So, if you do like the content, please consider donating, subscribing, liking, all of those YouTube things that help. Definitely going to try and do some live streams and some other stuff like that this weekend. And then finish the podcast where we recorded a version of it yesterday, but with the way things are, it was so heavy that I couldn't process it all the way. But we did start our initial conversation, and it was pretty cool. Plus, there's some heat there, there's some fiery subjects that we discussed, and I think the community would really benefit from hearing it, and yeah, can't wait to share that with you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to break down this tech tree. It was one of my favorite tech trees, and hopefully some of the newer players, intermediate players can learn from this and really start to look at the tree differently and how they break it down and push points and stuff like that. And I can go over push points tomorrow, or when I go over the tech tree that we get, and we'll go from there, guys. All right, guys, as always, like I said just a minute ago, if you like the content, please consider donating, subscribing, liking. Would really help me out. You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Going to try and live stream tonight and do another tech tree maybe. I'm not sure. Just hang out and talk with you guys. We'll see how it goes. Let's hope it works. All right, guys. Talk to you later.